Welcome, everybody. Thanks for everyone who jumped over from the Connect Working Group call. It is Tuesday, June the 7th, and this is your communications call. We can start with some intentions and distractions. We'll just do a quick round. My intentions for the call are to spend some time on the board. It was really nice last week to get through some of the issues and just kind of like move them along in the process. And also just like a couple of things that are on the agenda there, including Twitter, Discord channel feedback. And actually, I wanted to ask people's opinion on some like ETH Barcelona swag. So I'll put that on there too. If you have agenda items and you want to add them in the meantime, please just do so. I'm not so distracted now. I'm fully here, and I will pass it to Corey.
Hi. Yes, so don't have any distractions today. My intentions are to basically keep onboarding to this because it's going to be one of the most critical calls for me in the comms lead role. And yeah, I actually agree with going through the board because that's seems like there's a lot on there. So I'll pass this on to Rainer.
Hi there. So my intention is to learn how a comms call works. So this is why I'm here. And my distraction is my two kids in the background, which sometimes walk into this picture. Hope that's okay with you. I'll pass on to Claire.
Hi there, everybody. My intentions are to continue to discover more about how comms works and to add my 2 cents worth on any of the board issue items. And I'm not particularly distracted. And like Rhino, I may have small children popping up in the background, but there's nothing new there. And I pass over to Suga.
Thank you. Yeah, same setup, same situation as for those at home. Intentions are just to follow along with usual comm stuff, and distractions are the children. Real quick, that reminds me, Claire, this is like a tangent, but I don't want to forget it. So there's your Clara Z, right, on Discord, but then who's Claire? Because somebody praised Claire, and I don't think it's you, and they wanted to praise you. I think it was Melody. We'll get back to that later, but just FYI, there's another Claire, I think. Okay,
there's always another Claire, and they're usually within a certain age range, I find. About 3 years difference.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Sorry, I interrupted and I didn't hear, and I'm not sure if anybody else heard who you were passing to. My fault.
Whenever I have my video, I just have a crappy connection. You know what? I'll pass it to Lauren just in case there's a delay on my speech right now.
Sure, I'll swing it over to Jake, who I want to welcome. Welcome to Comms, Jake. We're super happy to have you on the team. Jake is going to be helping us with donor relations, and he's the son of a very cool man I met.
Yep. I'll turn the video on since I don't know if many people have seen my face yet. But intention, since this is the first comms for me, just listen and learn. I've actually spoke to a couple people today, Claire and Melody, and got me very excited about jumping on comms and connects. So that's intentions, distractions. Maybe my fan, just because it's a little warm here in Tbilisi, Georgia. That's where I'm at. It's 33 degrees today. And as Lauren said, I met Griff through my father, who's friends with Griff, and he lives in Ecuador. So that's how the connection has all happened. And that's it for me. Nice to meet everybody. Looking forward to working with everyone. And Lauren, I don't know who's gone. Sorry. So I'll just pass it back to you to distribute.
Sure. Let's pass it to Ashley.
Hey, still here with all of you. Happy to be here. Intentions just to, touch on the issues that I can provide any sort of value to and see what's going on. I'm enjoying seeing these two groups come together, so I just want to say that. And my distractions, actually I don't have any. They stopped doing construction, so that's it. I'll pass it to Nicola.
Thank you, Ashley. Hi, everyone. My intentions for the call are just keep learning, deepening, syncing up, no distractions, maybe some cats running around. I'm going to pass it to Ben.
Hi, intentions just to continue the comms connect coordination and merge and discussion and distractions is just getting nicer out. Looks like it's going to be a good day, and my dog is whining to go play, so that's it. But I'll pass to I haven't been paying attention to who went. Ashley, did you go already? Oh yeah, you did.
She did. Let's pass it to Oki.
Hey all, I'm here to hear a little bit more about where communications is going because I want to hear where communities are being featured or what goes where. I'm a bit distracted by my sideways camera and the Ansel Adams in the background in Rainier's wall. So that's me.
Cool. Let's pass it on to Melody.
Yeah, just intentions, obviously. It's the first time I joined the comm call and learning what you guys do and how this work. And also distractions, children in the background. I'm also in the kitchen thinking about cooking. So yeah, I'll pass it on to Jess.
Thanks, Melody. Hi, everyone. Yeah, so my intentions for this call are to keep being more involved, to listen to the meeting, and also recording the call. And distractions, well, I will be working on other tasks in the background, but paying attention. I'll pass it to Rainer. He already talked?
I think everybody did go now.
Oh, okay.
I've gone already.
Speak.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think I have everybody. Speak if you haven't. But great. Cool, nice. Wow, it's so great to have so many people in this call today. Thank you to like everybody from the Connect Working Group who joined, and welcome Jake. And yeah, I'm really excited that I'm excited that we're gonna have more integration. So looking at the things put on the agenda, I think that I just was thinking we should also maybe do like a little bit of like an explainer of how the Giveth planning board works, because there's a lot of people in this call who are new, and maybe some people who never really got an explainer. So we'll just like touch on that briefly and then go through the issues there. But there's a couple of short things that we could quickly discuss on the board. One is this. Okay, so just I wanted to get like a little bit of like short feedback. So fun Twitter fact: if you retweet or engage with a tweet very shortly after it's been tweeted, like within like the first 10 minutes is ideal, within the first hour is like still good, and then after that it doesn't matter. It actually like creates a big boost for that tweet and then gets like a lot more engagement on it. So Ashley and I were discussing potentially creating like a Twitter Shillers role, because we have the Twitter channel in the Giveth Discord. It's in the Giveth Discord, it's called Twitter, and I used to actually just manually put the links in there every day, but like Ashley just made a bot who does it for me just recently, a few days ago. So now I don't have to do that, but the tweets are still showing up in that channel. So it's super cool. And you can actually like or retweet the tweet from that link, it seems, from the bot. But yeah, so sometimes I tag like at Unicorn on particular tweets that are good, but like to increase our Twitter engagement, we were thinking of creating a Discord role called like Twitter Shillers or something, or because tagging at Comstars all the time might make people feel fatigued, and then it could be like an opt-in role for like a little shill army. And so I wanted to just like get a general idea of like, would you be a Twitter shiller, and do you think that's a good idea? But I don't want to spend too much time on it. So I won't pass it to everybody, but if anybody has like something they want to say, I would love to hear the feedback.
I really like that idea. I try to retweet as often as I can, but I can't say I'm always within the 10 minutes. So anything that would make that easier, I'd be up for. I don't do much else on Twitter, actually. I just retweet Giveth stuff, and that's it.
Yeah. Thank you for your service. That's awesome. Does anyone else have any positive or negative feedback? We'll just like let one or two more people speak it.
I like it too. I can join the army.
Oh, okay, that sounds good. It seems like general positive, so maybe Ashley could create a role and we could add it in the role select channel so people could add it, and then we'll just tag people in comms and be like, hey, there's this new role, you can go add it to yourself if you want.
Sounds good.
Thank you, Ashley, for helping support the Twitter. Okay, cool. Then I have another quick question because we're about to order a bunch of swag for ETH Barcelona. And I don't know, Rodri made some great designs on it. Really quick as well, do you guys, so is there a big difference between little, like, thin, kind of nice colored shopping bags or like more heavy duty shopping bags? Do you have a strong preference one way or the other? Because I have to add them to Printful and order them all today. And he made the designs with like nice orange ones. They look like this. They're super cute. Let's see if I can just, I don't think I can open it and it'll like show to you guys. I think it's just downloading, but maybe you can just see it if I zoom in. So these like cute little shopping bags we're gonna get as swag. And there's like nice white and orange ones, but I think they look like a little thin fabric, and I'm just, so many decisions on the swag. I just wonder if anyone has strong opinions.
I really like the durability of the one that I currently have. I carry my computer around in it. I can carry all sorts of stuff around in it. But one of my favorite things about it is that it's one of the most durable like tote bags that I have. So if I had a vote, I would vote for durable material.
Yeah, durability over nice colors. Because the other colors for the durable ones seem to be black or beige. Okay.
Then let's go for durable and black so we can use it 1,000 times.
I feel the same way. Okay, cool.
Me too.
We should model sustainability here.
Can I just add one more important element on that thing? So there's this bags as swag because they're really bad for the environment. It's a funny kind of misnomer that people think that it's eco-responsible to have your own bag, but then of course everybody's just producing like millions of these bags. So in fact, you start to accumulate them and they have a worse effect on the environment. There's some crazy fact that like anyway, I can't remember the fact, but I won't waste any more time. But just to say that the more heavy duty ones makes way more sense because then at least you'll have it for longer.
Makes sense. Okay, cool. Well, thanks everybody. I'll just move on from that so as not to spend too much more time on it. I think we talked already well enough about merging comms and connect, and there's not too much we need to add into this call. Gitcoin Grant Round 14 is coming up on Wednesday. So Suga updated both of our listings, and this is just a general call for memes. Memes about donating to Gitcoin grants is like always really helpful, and we could tweet some out, but I'm not sure there's anything. We could, I don't know. Ashley, do you think we should send like an email out to our email list about the grant rounds being open?
I think that we should send a message through Gitcoin to our past donors about it being open. I think that this is a much better audience to target than our users on our platform. And the other thing I wanted to ask, like we could do a Discord shill thing for different servers. I've got a whole bunch of new ones that we can try this time. And also, did they reach a decision? Did the vote go through with Gitcoin? Are they allowing token projects or what's?
Yeah, so they're not allowing new token projects. Like they'll get rejected if they have a token, but you can appeal it if you're like Giveth and you never had investors, like you didn't have like VCs or investors. And are like a public goods project. So it's like if you didn't get like a huge investment and you didn't already get tons of funding, then you can still have a grant, but you would need to appeal. But since our grant isn't newly added and it was already there from before, we just updated it, and I think it will go into the active round and like probably won't get flagged. If it does, we can appeal it.
Okay, so I guess that was my other thing is, do I want to because some of the Discord servers that I shill in sometimes, I don't know, they're just like a bunch of random people, or they're like these like Ponzi scheme NFT servers or something. But I always feel like, more eyes on things is better than nothing, and maybe you'll catch the right person, you never know. But maybe in this situation, we don't want to draw like a bunch of people who might, I don't know. I'm just trying to feel out the situation with the token thing. Is it something that we're confident we're okay to keep going forward with our Gitcoin grant, or we're like still not really sure and we're just going to try it and hope for the best?
I think we're confident. I mean, I'm confident that it would be fine, because projects like Giveth were the reason they were kind of like bringing up but there's a lot of for good projects that have tokens and so like if we had to appeal it, we would just get accepted. We would just like our appeal would go through and our project would get listed.
Okay.
Yeah. So
well,
I
I'm
think
definitely going to do a round of Discord shilling if you think it's valuable.
Yeah, I think that would be good. Maybe don't put too much effort into it. Just a little bit of casual Discord shilling and a few that you think are
I think that what would make it easiest is to have some people draft up the things that I will just copy and paste into these Discord channels, and then I can just copy and paste it. But I've got like, I don't know, 100 Discord servers or something.
Yeah, true. Okay.
Not all of them allow shilling, so I'll have to be strategic, but yeah.
Does anyone want to write a draft shill for Gitcoin grants? I think there's an issue where I had written one from last year or last round, and you could just like modify it a little bit. I can draft it for you. Okay, and then who can send the email out? Oh.
Anybody who's on our Gitcoin thing, so it would be a message sent through Gitcoin and it goes to all of their email addresses. So you'd go into our Gitcoin grant and choose like message previous donors or something like this.
Would you be down to do that part, Suga? Just to write a quick email, be like, Gitcoin grants on is live. We've been doing cool stuff. Like a summary of a shorter version of what you wrote for the updated listings.
Yeah. But are these two messages pretty similar anyway? Should I just do both? I mean, it's like...
Yeah. Do you want to? That would be cool.
Yeah, that's fine. Sure, yeah.
Okay.
Would love to.
You're the best. You're the best. And I can find you the draft that I had written last time, and then you could even just take that and it'll be easy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I'll add you also to this issue, actually. And yeah, and then we're good. It's the day. Oh no, it starts tomorrow. It actually starts tomorrow. Cool. Yeah, great. Okay.
But I have to do it tomorrow if that's okay. I can't. I wouldn't be able to do it today.
That's fine. Your tomorrow is still before it starts. When you're like your morning, afternoon time. I think it starts at like America's morning.
And I think it will have the same type of impact even if it's not on the very first day of the round, just as long as we're spreading the word, right? I mean, it doesn't have to be right at the minute that the round starts. So as long as we get in there quickly.
So true. Maybe you could even draft it and then we could review it tomorrow and send it out the next day. Ashley's right. Doesn't matter. Yay. Okay, cool. Yeah, so this next thing I have on here, so the featured projects tweet thread. So this is something that we were doing a little while ago that Mitch was helping with. He was writing these community spotlight posts, and then Anne was helping to make like featured projects tweet threads. And I think that they're kind of nice things, and it would be an awesome task for somebody who's like more involved in reviewing the projects, and just to kind of like write one every 2 weeks or so. I think it's like the idea is like a Twitter thread that's like, these are some great projects on Giveth, or these are some projects that recently had updates, or projects that recently got verified. If you donate to them, you get givebacks or something. And then it'll be like, grassroots economics is helping communities build currencies in developing countries. Donate to them, and then a link to their project, and then a different tweet that says something about a different project. And I was wondering if anybody like either from the Connect working group or Nicola would be awesome at it, would be down to like take this on as like a regular every 2 weeks-ish kind of thing. I think it helps to like bring more visibility on projects.
I love it. I love it. And I think it's perfect because, yeah, so many times when I'm doing this reviewing and seeing the project being verified. Yes. So, yeah.
Yes.
Let's do it.
Amazing. Cool. I'll make an issue for it and I'll assign you, and I can link to you. If you comment on the issue, and then it'll remind me, I can link you to some tweets of previous examples, but you'll do a good job even without the previous examples, I'm sure. So
Thank you. And yeah, okay, I'll comment on it.
yay. Thank you so much. That's so exciting. Okay. Awesome. ETH Barcelona talk. So a bunch of people applied for talks, and I'm wondering if anyone in this call is giving a talk at ETH Barcelona, because if we're giving a bunch of Giveth talks or on panels, we should kind of have a little sync up on messaging.
I've submitted, but I've never heard back. So anybody, have you heard people who heard back?
I did hear back. I got assigned, I applied for a talk. I got assigned to speak on some panel. But I'm not sure if they got back to everybody or not yet. But I actually do know who to contact. So maybe I could just send a message to Amand. Who's like,
mine's not a talk, it's a unconference session where it's an open space technology, using open space technology where people come with social impact related issues and they break into groups. So it's just a facilitation of, it's not a talk. And it's a great opportunity for us to actually get to know some people and get ideas and collect some data on potential donors. So that's why I submitted the idea in a true decentralized way. People decide their own agenda and talk about it and come report to people. So it's not a one-way street. So that is my session that I submitted. I don't know if it's yeah, maybe they decided not to, so that's okay too.
I can, I'll reach out to Amand because I know her, and I'll just ask her if they like got back to everybody about them. But it sounds like a cool, yeah, it sounds like a really cool workshop unconference thing. So I'll just reach out and I'll let you know.
Yeah, and Marco and somebody else also applied. I don't know that somebody else, unfortunately.
I know Marco, probably Mateo.
Marco did.
Yeah, and probably Mateo also applied to speak. Willie is giving a talk, and Griff is giving a talk. I know they heard back already. But we should find out, because it would be nice if they messaged everyone who applied, like a yay or nay, then you know.
One of them in Telegram quite closely, and they said that they got 700 submissions and are working through them. So I think they said that they would get back to everyone eventually, but I think it's going to take a while.
Cool. Okay.
Also heard from multiple sides that they're really disorganized in the team. So it might take a while.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you. So strategy document and content planning sim isn't here, so I don't think that there's too much we can go on that. And we already are happy to welcome Jake to the team. Do you want to intro what you're going to be working on a little bit, Jake? Ahmad put this as an agenda topic, so I definitely want to give you a moment if you want to talk about, like what your focus is going to be with Giveth.
Sure. So on day 3 here, donor relations, basically. So helping out kind of on that end of the house. So I know that Ahmad and I will be working. He's my buddy. We'll be playing, and then also as working with Melody and Claire, speaking about really good ideas about the donor survey, the project survey, getting that feedback, that really critical feedback that's needed to understand the donors that we currently have, and then the donors that we don't have that we want to have. So A lot of focus on networking and getting more donors for Giveth.
Cool. That's exciting. That's
Yeah.
super exciting and something we definitely need.
Very much looking forward to it.
Cool. Nice. Okay. Oh yeah, and then project success stories. So project success stories. I actually wanted to ask about this because I think Ahmad was saying that you guys were going to be creating, then the Connect Working Group are going to be creating videos on project success stories or something, and interviews. I'm not sure. And I was wondering if that, if we had any interviews with projects, and if there's like anything that we should share about that, like either put on our YouTube or anywhere. And I just would love to get an update from anyone in the Connect Working Group who's working on that.
So I can take that. There is a set of emails that are going to be sent out to the highlighted success story projects. Kotabi is working on creating the email for that. I think it's nearly finished. What content it should have. There is a tip sheet for making videos, what the project should include. So each of these is going out to a project. They need to shoot something on site about a minute long, maybe a bit longer, maybe a bit shorter, what their project does, how Giveth has helped them, and just send it back. It's going to be quite sort of unfinished, sort of raw video footage on site with just the main project people and some of their team showing what they do and talking about their project. So it would be nice for them to be able to put it as an update on their profile page. We can post it on our Twitter, on our other social medias, and we'll bring a bit of extra.
Yeah, we were talking about potentially even creating like a project feature blog post once we get a few success stories in, and like can highlight 2 or 3 and make it like a Medium article. So I see that I saw the issue there. I wasn't keeping track of it, but once we get some feedback, then we should kind of like use that to create more content for Giveth. I think projects like to hear from projects as well. Okay, cool. So those are the only things that I had like on the agenda. So we can kind of tackle the issues on the board. But before we do that, I'll just kind of like just give you guys a quick overview of Zen Hub. Some of you know how to use it already well, but I think most of you probably never really got much of an explainer. So if you don't have already the Zen Hub extension installed, you should install it as a browser extension. So it's like Zen Hub. I always just Google it, and it's literally the first link that comes up. Zen Hub browser extension for Chrome or Firefox, and you just download the extension. And then once you have the extension downloaded, it'll make your GitHub repo look like a Trello board. And then this is really useful for organizing, coordinating issues. So I manage the Giveth planning board, and soon Karina is going to be taking over managing it. But it's still really important for everybody who's working on issues. It's really helpful for everyone who's working on issues to like move them along as they need. So when issues get created, like I was just creating in the call for like the project's tweet thread, they end up in the new issues column here, featured projects tweet thread. And then they can be moved across. So Icebox is like, the Icebox column is like issues that are frozen that we're really kind of not working on, but maybe we'll go back to them at some point in the future, but either we don't have the resources or we thought it's not a good idea. It ended up in the Icebox. Sometimes I put things in there if it's just like months and nobody's done anything on them. Backlog is like issues that are not to be worked on this week, but we're going to be working on soon. Sprint backlog is like issues that are going to be working on, that people are going to be working on this week that are assigned to a person. In progress is if you're actually working on it. And review QA is when it's ready for someone else to review. So in comms, we have a process like for all of our blogs or like major tweet threads or like like this Gitcoin grants like listing update, we usually try to get at least 2 comms contributors to QA each other's review or QA each other's work. So if you wrote like a blog, tag some comms contributors, and then people will be like, I reviewed, it looks good, and they like leave comments and suggestions. We usually do a lot of our coordination in Google Docs. So if you write a blog or a tweet thread or an email, make it in a Google Doc and make it like anyone can comment access, so that if anybody is like reviewing it, they can leave suggestions and you can like suggest, or they can comment and you could like change things based on that. The done column is for when things are reviewed. They've been reviewed by 2 people and it's like, this is great, and it's ready to go out, but maybe it hasn't been published yet or tweeted yet, or depending on what it is, it hasn't been like executed, although it is like ready to go through. Does that make sense?
Yeah, Lauren, that was great. Thank you. The question I have is, I need write privileges, and I don't know who the admin is for the Giveth repository.
I can give you privileges. Send me your GitHub handle, and that goes for everybody in this call. If you can't move issues on this board, or you can't make issues or comment on things, send me your GitHub handle, and like I will make you a comms contributor and give you the power. Yeah, and then also there's just like one more thing to mention. I think that like a lot of people have been using this already, but there's like labels. So you can add a label if it's like a Connect working group issue, or if it's a documentation, if it's ready to upload to the docs, if it's ready to review. A lot of them are pretty intuitive. And of course you can assign people in the assignees here. Yeah, so it'll be really helpful if like when you're assigned to an issue, you can kind of like move it along, because like what I'll do and what a lot of people do as well, and what's like a really good practice is like if anybody could go to this board and like look at review QA, and there's like a bunch of things in here and maybe they were tagged on it, and it's like, okay, I haven't looked at this project onboarding guide, and then can go and review it and then like leave comments, and it's really helpful for making sure that our issues are kind of like getting completed in a reasonable time. And then when it's done and published and sent, close it. You can close the issues. You can close the issues, you can create them, you can move them on the board. Everybody's empowered. And if you don't, sometimes I do it for you, but I don't like to. Okay. Great, cool. So I'll just open it up in case anybody has any questions. And if not, we'll go in through looking at each of the issues.
No questions, just like to say thanks for the insight into the world and mysteries of ZenHub and GitHub.
Yeah, my pleasure. And if you guys have any questions as well that come up later, feel free to shoot me a DM, or like Ashley is an expert on basically everything. You could ask Ashley. Yeah, and happy to help.
Yeah, I also can give you write privileges and things like this too. So.
Cool, nice. Okay, all right. So let's just kind of like go through the issues here. So yeah, this was like, so we updated the Twitter banner in the bio for Twitter, and I think it would make sense to update the banner as well for the Facebook and for the LinkedIn. I'm not sure if Claire, do you want to update this on the Facebook now that you have access, and maybe Melody, you could update the one on the LinkedIn?
Lauren, I would love to. However, when you sent me the login details for the Facebook today, I clicked on it and it took me to something completely different, a different Giveth Facebook page, which wasn't active at all.
Oh, yeah, because that's a Facebook. It's because it's a profile. So the Giveth Facebook page is actually like a page that doesn't have an account access, but you can add like admins to it. So I made a Giveth person, which is like a blank Giveth account, just so that like we can have like one admin access that we can share instead of adding like tons of people.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, so that's not like that account that I sent you the login to has access to edit the actual Giveth page.
Fantastic. Then I will go and update it.
Cool,
yeah, same
nice.
here. I will go and update the LinkedIn.
Yay! Thank you so much. Oh, I just wrote linked, but doesn't matter. Great. Okay, the Hitchhiker's Guide. I hope I publish it tomorrow. Today we have almost the Cult East Region farm that I think it's supposed to go at. So I want this one to have like good exposure, but that'll be so nice to have that out. POAP claim for the Giveth Donors 101 course, I think. Oh yeah. Okay, Ahmad isn't here. Project onboarding guide, documentation. I think this is still needing some review. I didn't get a chance to review it yet. But Claire also tagged. Oh yeah, Melody, Sam, Suga, Ahmad. If
I can
anybody
look at this. I'm
yeah,
make sure to look at it.
that would be amazing. Cool. I'll just tag you so that you don't lose it. Cool. We already talked about Gitcoin prep, marketing plan, tree thread. Your project is update. Your project is live. Email link. Kotabe is not here, right?
We were testing this, I think, the other day, or we went into, I don't know, maybe this isn't the issue we were testing, but we went into autopilot and we're working on one of the emails. But yeah, I can't tell. Go up.
It's view my projects is going to, oh, it was because it actually wasn't going to my projects. It was just going to my account, but I don't know if you can go to my projects. That's what I said in the comment.
Yeah, you might not be able to go to my project.
But
okay.
Kotabe tried to update it.
Okay. Well, I can't speak to this one then. It's a different one.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't know. I'll try to make a project on staging and test it. Or is anyone, maybe the autopilot emails go out for projects on staging, right?
No.
No.
I mean, it will go out for a project on staging, but the links, this is why it's so hard to test links, because the links direct you to production.
Oh, but that's okay.
But not if your project doesn't exist on production, because it only exists on staging.
And this one, it should at least send you to my projects, and maybe it just says you have no projects.
Yeah, maybe. It just wouldn't send you to, yeah, I guess for this specific one, you might be able to test that on staging.
Karina, this might be a good issue for you to test, actually, if you're down, because I know you're going to try testing create a project. I could explain to you a little more if it doesn't make sense. But it's basically like you create a project, and then does this email get sent out actually after it's listed, or no? It's only after.
Yeah, this is like right whenever it's before it's even listed. This is like right whenever it's launched. Your project can now receive donations. You're live.
Cool.
And then it talks about verifying this.
Yeah, go ahead and give it to me. I'll dig into this.
Yeah. So you can create a project on staging.giveth.io, then receive the email, and then click the link and make sure it goes to my project. If that's let me know if you have any questions on it. We can chat more about it.
Sure. Yep.
Thanks. Cool. Where were we?
Sorry, it looks like I'm only a content admin on there, so I can't update that. Ashley, you are super admin.
Oh.
Yeah, just to update it's an image that I need to put on the LinkedIn?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just to change the banner to be the one that says, "Welcome to the future of giving."
Okay, and it's, let's see.
I can tag you.
689,
yeah. Okay. Cool. You're muted, Ashley, but I think you got it.
Oh yeah, sorry, I got it. Thank you.
Cool. Comms onboarding guide. Okay, so Suga, I think you're taking this on, but I think that you're. Oh wow. No, not ready review. Good. Okay. Don't need to talk about it. Making a system with tags for Medium articles, outreach to networks related to our niches. Cool, nice. So Rainer already did outreach on this. Do you want to update us or any next steps we should add to the issue?
Sorry, my Discord just crashed. So I've reached out to all of these except Kiva because it's a bit more complicated issue. I know all of these platforms personally, or I have people there personally, and I'm waiting for feedback. I have gotten feedback from Global Green Grants. Oh, it's not actually on the list. There's another donor platform, and they might be interested. I had an extra GitHub issue on Extinction Rebellion, which I contacted last week, and the guy that I know there, Luke Fleck, he forwarded it to people there. It was interesting because he had a couple of questions. He was like, "What's the actual benefit for us? Can you describe what we need to do?" and so on and so on. So it was interesting for me to write a reply to that to convince someone who's not really sure what the actual benefit is. And a couple of the discussions that we had about what the perfect niche for Giveth is was really helpful with that. So I'm waiting for replies this week and next week from these platforms. I'll keep you up to date.
Nice. And so these are like donor platforms, or
it's a mix. So a couple of them are donors that are specialized on supporting community-based, grassroots, more anarchist sort of movements. And some of them are actual networks of projects that work in that space. For example, Gen is the global eco village network. So they're specialized on eco villages and stuff and intentional communities. So it's a mixture of both.
Cool. Cool. And so it's like kind of like simultaneous trying to get more donors and trying to get more projects.
Yes, because for example, Global Green Grants, they are specialized on supporting activists all over the world. And so often they have to work with activists that don't really have incorporated entities. Not even talking about charity status, right? And so they fit in this kind of niche that we discussed of organizations that have a problem working through the traditional charity banking system. And so they might be interested in using Giveth. So that's the lens through which I picked these.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Rainer. If you need any support with like any messaging things, like feel free to tag anybody, tag me, tag someone else.
Yeah,
I can also support.
Thank you.
Cool. Include working with Giveth as an external collaborator in our documentation. I think this is ready to go up the docs. Okay, this is Katabe. I'm just going to assign him because it's getting disorganized.
Can I ask a quick question as we talked about sort of these outreach questions? This board is not really confidential, right? So anyone can create a GitHub account and just access all of it, because sometimes reaching out to specific people, specific names, I'm not sure when I feel comfortable using certain names or copying contents of emails that I received from them. It's good for documenting the process for all of us, but I think it's not intended for the sort of general public.
Yeah, it is completely open and transparent, like our GitHub board. And if you feel like it's like, a breach of trust on some things, you could like say reaching out to blah 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 and DM in the issue, and then just like send a screenshot to somebody to get feedback like in a DM to kind of like preserve their privacy. But it is all open, and a lot of things like we just kind of like keep out there because because documenting the process, I think the value of transparency with Giveth is really important because it's like everything is open source. Our entire process is like transparent. You could do what we did and learn all these lessons and like not recreate the wheel in like every step. So anyway, but there's the need to respect people's privacy.
And I'm with you with 99% of the stuff, but sometimes I feel I should have asked for consent, or I would have to ask for consent, and I'm not sure.
Yeah, this is something that I also deal with project verification, and I think a lot of it is when it's their private information. So like email addresses, I would not put, or you could black out some things using a marker of your screenshot if you need to, or just only cut the part that's like necessary of the email. But I also I have to find the boundaries of personal information and privacy as well, along with transparency. So there's sometimes there's things that we have to keep private, but for the most part we try to keep everything transparent.
Thanks.
Nice. Okay, cool. So Giveth website marketing suggestions. So Sim made this issue of like she made an issue of kind of like ideas to improve the DApp that I asked her to create issues for the devs on, but I think that she's looking for some feedback on some of them. So I might actually just move this to review QA. Yeah, because if anybody wants to take a look and leave some feedback, she was kind of like making some suggestions of like, some of them are really good. Like when you first come to the homepage, it says like you can view projects, you can create a project, but there's no like donate button. So it's like the first prompt to people is like nowhere is it like very clear on like if you wanted to donate right away. So there's some cool thoughts in there if you wanted to take a look. This, I'll just give everybody a quick update to keep you in the loop. Gnosis Chain is doing a newsletter and they wanted to feature Giveth as a DAO of the week. So they're going to write it, but I'm going to have a meeting with Christina on Thursday, and she's gonna write it. It's just going to be like a little blurb on Giveth. It's kind of like a nice like DAO to DAO partnership thing. And Karina, I asked her if you could join the call, and she was like, totally. So me and Karina are going to meet with her. Research on donor profiles. Actually, so Jake, we created this issue a little while ago. Took a mod and put a mod on it. And actually, I think this is like basically what you're going to be working on. So maybe I could just assign you to this issue, and then you could kind of like keep us updated if you do any outreach, or like if you're creating more of a framework for like what information you're collecting.
Yeah, that sounds like a good plan. It's right up the.
Do you have
Go ahead. Just signed up for it yesterday, so not super familiar with it, but do have it.
If you could send, maybe Ashley, could you do it? Like, could you add him to the GitHub in this call and maybe assign him to this issue?
Yeah, definitely. Send me your handle.
Will do.
Cool. And then, yeah, so Jake, this issue will be assigned to you, and then you can just like leave comments and updates in this issue on, you'll figure it out. If you have any questions, ask.
Will do. Thank you.
Add video to donor course on bridging funds in more detail. I think Ahmad is adding to the donor course. Email autopilot list. Okay, this is also Ahmad, and I think there's nothing there. Bring common stack prize contenders to Giveth. Katabe's not here. Does anyone know the status of this outreach? Cool. We'll just ask him. Get great projects from Gitcoin onto Giveth. So this is the big one that kind of got broken up and assigned to many people. Has anyone? Yeah, are there any updates here? Has anyone started doing any outreach to Gitcoin projects? The issue is get great projects from Gitcoin onto Giveth, and Ahmad and Suga had put together a spreadsheet of like I think the information of people to reach out to, and then it was just a matter of being like, hey, have you heard of Giveth? You should add your project. Okay, well, if nobody has any updates, I'll just move on. Allow gift holders to vote on which projects. I mean, we already sort of talked about this in the Connect working group call, so I don't think we need to go over it here. But this is the issue for creating the token log and the type form and getting the donors, the people to add the information, but we already talked about it. This is in progress with Karina. Karina, do you have any questions on the tweet thread or anything? Yeah, anything you wanted to ask or say about this?
No, I'm just in the middle of writing it. So actually, my only question is, should I put in here that I'm in the middle of writing it? Or like, what would you like? Would you want an update at this point in there, ideally, or
The
only when I'm done?
The best way to, I mean, what I just did, I just moved the issue into in progress. If you could just do that, then it would update the issue basically, because it's like when the issue gets moved, it also shows like Lauren changed the pipeline from review QA to in progress. So it's like I looked and moved it over. And so if I saw that you moved it to in progress, I'd know you're working on it.
Okay, it was sitting under. Sorry, I was just gonna ask where it was sitting under. It was under sprint backlog. Yeah.
Yeah, it was under sprint backlog.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. Yep.
Yeah. So that's kind of like a good tip.
Can I add one comment to that?
Yes.
Sorry, I'm having, as usual, microphone delays and so on. But this could be helpful for everybody, that tip that you just said about moving things along. And I would like to add, it is helpful to put a note in there if you don't have anything to post conclusive, like it's done, here it is. But if you just want to say working on this, whatever, I personally think that's helpful if the weekly meeting is coming up and you're going to hit the weekly meeting without the issue being finished, it at least gets some information in the issue so that when the meeting takes place, like right now, and we're looking through it, that it can be kind of nice, especially if some folks don't show up at the meeting, you can at least look at their issues and see what's going on.
Yeah, that's actually like a really good point, actually, just as a standard practice of working together is maybe just having a note before the communications call every week to go through your issues real quick and make sure there's something recently posted in there.
Yes.
That'll probably save a lot of time.
And that said, yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. And that said, Lauren, I was trying to unmute, and of course I couldn't a moment ago when you were talking about the Bitcoin outreach. So I should have put a note in there. I think I just dropped the ball because I was like, oh, well, lots of people are going to be working on this now. Woohoo! So I did not put a note in, and I should have put a note in to say that I didn't do it yet because I'm focusing on a bunch of other stuff. So I personally have not advanced on that. Sorry.
No worries. That's awesome. Yeah, I think it's cool if we chip at it away slowly. I mean, it's a big issue, and it's like it can be an ongoing thing because there's always going to be cool new projects that we can outreach to. But if we could get like a little bit of outreach going on, is anybody? So I think like there were a bunch of people tagged in this issue. I think like including
Claire was one of them.
Including me. I know. I'm really sorry. I didn't get stuck into it yet. I
feel very lonely on this issue.
So
I'm so excited. Yeah.
So sorry. I would like to spend just a couple of minutes talking together just to make sure that I'm on the right lines and I'm picking up the information from the right place. And maybe we could do that at some point this week. Would that be okay? Before I just dive right in there. All right.
Yes. Can you hear me? Oh my God, my mute button. Sorry. Yes.
Fabulous. I'll message you.
Cool. Great. Thanks everyone. Thanks both of you. Yeah. And cool. I love the idea also that was just happening. I just want to reiterate, like, if you can update your issues before the comms call, I'll also, when I send out the agenda, I'll also ask people to update their issues every week, because that is actually really helpful, especially if you're not going to make it to the meeting. Cool. How do we communicate the amount of givebacks a user gets? I think this is kind of on hold. Yep. Schedule a follow-up session, strategy session on impact. Yeah.
Talking to Ashley about the best slot, when to do that.
Cool.
Yeah, right now we're just working around figuring out what's the best timing, because it was going to be like during the Connect call, but then I think there's some conflict. So we're looking probably at the last week of June.
Okay, cool. Support review process for Cryptoholics. But this is something that Griff sent me, actually. It was like somebody from Cryptoholics is expanding. They want to do a professional review about Giveth, and in exchange for a mention from us with like a do follow link. I don't even remember what I want. Worth pursuing, who's interested in coordinating. It needs someone to champion coordinating it. That's what it is. So yeah, cryptoholics.com. They were going to review Giveth, and then they want us to just be like, they reviewed us, and it was great, you know? So it would just be a matter of like talking to them. Yeah, this is their site. Does anyone, I mean, it seems like it might be worthwhile pursuing. Does anybody want to like take a look at this at all? If not, we can just talk about it another day. Automated email to send to projects to remind them to send a tax receipt. Oh yeah, so yeah, I wanted to ask, I actually read your comment today, Melody, about this one. I was wondering if, actually I wanted to ask, Ashley, do you know if there is a way we could only email 501c3s in autopilot? Like, I don't think that, is there like a...
We don't even have anything in our database that tells what is a 501c3 or not. The only way I would know if you're a registered 501c3 is if you applied for verification and provided that information, and I looked into it and verified that it was true. So we're looking at maybe being able to at least find through our verified projects, which more than 900 of those are Giving Block projects. So out of the like 400 that are actually Giveth verified projects, maybe 100 or two, maybe half of them are verified 501c3 verified nonprofit, and that's globally. So that wouldn't even just be in the United States or Canada. So a very small portion of our would we be, but yeah, we just have no way to know.
It still seems like, yeah, it seems like a lot of overhead and coordination. I think that the suggestion that Melody was making also in the issue, and correct me if I'm wrong, Melody, is also just we could send it to all projects and be like, if you are a registered 501c3, it's useful to generate a tax receipt for your donors. I don't know. Open to debate right here, but I feel like about giving any kind of like tax receipt prompts in our email base.
Yes, it's currently in our terms of use, in terms of like our agreements, that we don't facilitate the tax, passing off of tax receipts or the acquiring of tax receipts for donors. That would be up to them to look into the project. They can easily click the profile, the name of the project owner, and get the email address that's attached. So they can reach out to the project. The information is there. I think that it is valuable to maybe put something in our create a project flow when they're creating their project description, like a little reminder or a hint that says, if you're a registered 501c3, make sure to give your donors a path to receiving that tax receipt in their project description. So we're like, guiding them while creating their project to provide this information for their donors if in fact they are a registered 501c3.
So I had a discussion with Griff and one potential donor in Germany about a similar case here. It is possible that both donors and projects get into trouble if they want to get the tax deduction for the funds that they receive through Giveth, because they have received already a reward through Giveth, which is in many countries incompatible with getting a tax receipt or a donation receipt.
Yeah, I was under that impression too. I thought because they're receiving something for their donation that maybe that makes it not.
Exactly. So we're in very, very gray area here, if that's even possible to do.
According to Canada law, US law, the relationship between the platform and the donor has no bearing on the tax receipt. If the organization has received a donation, they are obligated to issue a tax receipt. So the only motivation people can say no, that's not at all, is that the Giving block is hitting $500 million giving on their platform this year, and the biggest motivation for a crypto donor is tax receipt because the earning is so asymmetrical for them. The capital gain tax is so big that it's such a huge attraction for them. But if you guys don't want these donors to have these benefits and take advantage of this, because all they need to do is to contact the organization they have donated money to. They are receiving this tax receipt because it only will be problematic if the nonprofit organization itself is giving you a reward. For example, you're going to a banquet where you are eating food from the nonprofit organization who have spent costs, then it will be deducted from your tax receipt, which means that the only pure donation part is receipted. So if there's any middle part in the middle, like that has nothing to do with nonprofits themselves, Giveth has its own free will give back to the donor. In the relationship between the donor and the nonprofit, there's no legal issues in charitable organizations in Canada or organizations in the US. We can check the law, but really the motivation is that why not? Why can't donors take advantage of both? If I have a huge capital gain problem, I will give to Giving block in a heartbeat and give there. Why would I give on Giveth? Only because I want to support ecosystem or, but that problem, tax receipt problem is the number one motivation right now in the USA for them, for crypto donors. And just want to put it out there. If you are a tax receivable organization, you're obligated, submit tax receipt for your donors. You should probably put a information for donors to contact you. But if people don't think that is a good idea, then we don't have to do it. You don't have to take advantage of that, and donor doesn't have to know. Yeah, that's all.
Okay, we are 3 minutes over our call. I think that this might be a little bit more discussion we want to have on it. So maybe we can add this to the Connect Working Group call agenda, because it's a great space for continuing these broader conversations. So I left that comment an issue, but in the interest of everyone's time, we should close the call now. So thank you all for joining.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks,
you.
Lauren.
Thanks,
Thanks, everybody.